Hey guys, Jared here. Just a quick little market update. We see that the markets are still going sideways. This euro dollar is going into a full 3 days of sideways movement, or getting pretty close to it. But once again, a lot of this sideways movement that we're seeing on the euro dollar and on the pound dollar, everything's been channeling pretty well for the last couple of days. Once again, is due to mostly the fact that the dollar's waiting for non-farm payroll, and the euro and the pound are waiting for their interest rate announcements, which will happen tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern and 7:45 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m. will be the pound, 7:45 will be the euro interest rate announcement. So things will hold pretty steady until that happens. But be ready to watch the market. Like we talked about in the previous video, we have these highs and lows in there. So the break of that should be pretty good. If you have not watched the previous video on the euro and the pound that is right before this one, go have a look at that. The one that I want to talk about right now and have a little focus on is the Australian dollar Japanese yen. This pair is in a very nice little uptrend. If we zoom out just a little bit, we see that this pair has been heading up very nicely since about January. Had a little pullback here, break of the trend line. We all made some good pips on that, and now it's headed right back up. But what it's doing right now is stopping at the high that we saw back here in the first week of June. So it's going back to about the 2-month highs, and actually several month highs, almost yearly highs since the big dip back earlier. And it's just kind of stuck at this level right here, and it's really bouncing. And this level is kind of about the 80-50, 80-60, 80-70, kind of that general area there. 80-50 to 80-70 is a very strong level. So the market could continue to bounce off of this, or it could break and give us a nice run up. What we've got to look at is what's going on the 1 hour chart. It's got a lot of resistance it's going to be coming into, like the gap and the weekly pivot, so I'm pretty cautious at this point about taking any selling opportunities. I'm looking more for buying opportunities because that's the direction of the trend, and we have a lot less headway to bump into. But really all we have to do is break this 80, 50 to 80, 70 area, get above that and take it beyond. Now, the reason we're seeing such a big bounce, we talked about this in the webinar, big run down, it's coming back up and it's hitting that 50% Fibonacci retracement. It came off it the first time by about 1,000 pips, and now it's up and back at it. Now, it's got a good little chunk to go, about 500 pips before it hits the 61.8, but I'm pretty much counting on it hitting that fairly shortly. So I'm going to be looking more for a break of this little double top right here. That we see right there, nice little double top, looking for a break of that on its way up to the 61.8 Fibonacci level. But I'll do what the indicators tell me. So if we see a nice downtrend happening, a nice turnaround on the 1 hour and the 4 hour chart as well, we could see that happening. The stochastics are definitely turning on the day chart, so that's kind of something to keep an eye on. So that's what I'll be looking for on the dollar, or excuse me, on the Aussie yen. Next thing to look at is the equities markets here. We're seeing the Dow is very stagnant. Lots of stocks are doing well, but the Dow is kind of just sitting at this 92 area. We see that the S&P is really just sitting at the 1,000 mark. It's been up to 1,007, 6, 7, right around there, but it hasn't really broken it by much, and it's really sitting there. So we're going to have to kind of watch and see how that goes. Gold surged for a little bit, but it's also kind of just a little bit stagnant. So while those things continue to be stagnant and slow, we'll see the dollar stagnant and slow as well. But like we know, lots of these markets are waiting for non-farm payroll, and lots of the other pairs are waiting for their interest rate announcements. So things will be kind of slow until that happens. Keep your eye on everything. The pound dollar and euro dollar have some great opportunities to jump in there, and this this Aussie yen has a really great opportunity as well. So keep an eye on it, folks. Good luck trading, and we'll catch you all back here soon.